Welcome in to a brand new week here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we got some big Patriots news and rumors to get to as we're talking about Chase Young, DeAndre Hopkins, and also have a roster update that we'll get to coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, the race is on to 4,000 subscribers here between Patriots Today and Texans Today. Both channels launched about the same time. Texans got off to a good start, but happy to report that we are gaining significant ground on Texans Today, and we have a chance to get to 4,000 subscribers first. Subscribe now for the latest happenings on your New England Patriots. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can bring you. That's been our promise from day one, and we have honored that promise. We're bringing you longer videos now than we did previously, and with more subs means potential for live shows, watch parties during the season, and more. So let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Let's beat Texans Today and stick it to them. And subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. We'll get started with today's show. We begin with Chase Young from the Washington Commanders. It has been known for the last few days that the Washington Commanders, according to reports, are taking calls on Chase Young. What we've been told is that they're not necessarily shopping themselves, but they are open to picking up the phone to see what teams reach out and offer them. CBS Sports has named New England as one of the favorites to land the former number 2 overall pick. Here's more from Cody Benjamin on New England. Bill Belichick is never one to shy away from a big name reclamation attempt. And with Matt Judon going on 31 and more expendable after 2023, it's possible they could look to capitalize on untapped talent by plugging Young into their hybrid scheme along with younger guys. And they've recently taken a youthful approach to upgrading the front seven, by the way, spending their first 3 2023 picks on D. Now, I'll say this. In a perfect world, the way I would sum this up, if you're the New England Patriots, I'd give up a second-round pick, and then I would look to pay Chase Young next offseason. And let me explain why. Here's my thinking on this, folks. Okay? This is a former number 2 overall pick. Okay? That's incredible value if you only have to give up a second-round pick and not have to give up a first for a player of this caliber. Okay? So, first off, to me, just that alone, sign me up for. Now, why I would wait to pay till next offseason, I still need to see if Chase Young can be 2 things: productive and healthy. If he can accomplish those 2 things, then towards the end of the season or into next offseason, then you can pay him that extension. If he doesn't look healthy and isn't productive, then you count your losses and potentially move on. But here's a guy, you go back to his rookie season, had 8 sacks. He was terrific. But has missed a lot of time over the last couple of seasons. But when he's been available, he has been really, really good, folks. You go back in that 2020 season, not only was he a Pro Bowler, but he was also the Defensive Rookie of the Year. But the lack of availability has been a big issue for Chase Young. You're looking at a guy that's played just 12 games in the last 2 seasons. So if he can be out there, if he can stay healthy, then I think you're looking at a terrific return on investment potentially for the New England Patriots if they were to make this trade and bring Chase Young in to this defense. So I like the idea. We'll see if the Patriots do it or not. Your chance to weigh in. Our pinned comment today: should the Patriots trade for Chase Young or not? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Let me know what you think. T for trade, P for pass in the comments section below if New England should make a move here or not. So we got an update from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport on the visit that DeAndre Hopkins will be taking to New England this week. It will be a 2-day visit, so a little sleepover going on with D-Hop being in town on Wednesday and Thursday in Foxborough. And very good news, because we heard from Bill Belichick say that just a couple days ago he was not sure if the visit was still going to happen or not, and that he wasn't a travel agent, didn't know all the details of the plans, but now we know, even after D-Hop visited the Tennessee Titans, that he is going to indeed come to New England, and take this free agency visit. So that's very good news. Now, I was reading some stuff about these two guys, and I want to take you back to December of 2022. This is what Belichick had to say on DeAndre Hopkins here, and I found this fascinating. He's a smart football player, very savvy. I'd say his ball skills are at a very elite level of guys that I've seen in this league. He's up there with whoever the top guys are, the Chris Carters of the world. Guys like that, I think he's every bit as good as anybody I've ever coached against. Now, DeAndre Hopkins had this to say about Bill Belichick around the same time last year. A guy like Belichick, he's one of the most respected people in the NFL. He's a Hall of Fame coach, and for him to have that high praise about me, it's definitely mutual. I love playing against him. After every game, I try to make sure I say, hey, what's up to him? I've got a lot of respect for him for sure. So the respect goes both ways. The elephant in the room, obviously, is the Bill O'Brien factor. But at least it seems to be that D-Hop and Bill Belichick seem to have admiration for each other there. Now, you may be saying to yourself, the Patriots receiving corps has some good talent. Do they need another receiver? Do they need to make an upgrade? Did you know that the New England Patriots have not had a 1,000-yard receiver since Julian Edelman in 2019? That has been a long time. And the question that becomes with adding a guy like DeAndre Hopkins potentially is, what DeAndre Hopkins are you going to get? What does he still have left in the tank at this point? And I would say that based on what we saw from DeAndre Hopkins in the second half of 2022, when he came off the suspension, he showed he still has something left to bring to the table. In 9 games played, over 700 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. You go back to a couple of years ago in 2020 with 1,400 yards and 6 touchdowns. And then a little less than 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2019. Sure, he might not be the player that he was in 2020, but he would come in right away. And no disrespect to Juju, but I think DeAndre Hopkins from the jump becomes your number 1 receiver in this Patriots offense and would be a nice upgrade. So we'll see how the money works. Patriots have some cash to spend. They could make this happen. They could offer more money than most teams can. I like the idea of bringing DeAndre Hopkins in. What's your confidence level that DeAndre Hopkins will come to New England? He'll enjoy his visit. He'll get the clam chowder and have a great time. What's your confidence level that he signs with New England? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section. What you think your confidence level is that he ultimately ends up signing with New England. Quick roster update before we get out of here. The Patriots have moved on from James Robinson with consistent injury issues. Unfortunate for him, the expectation was that he was going to be the number 2 running back for New England behind Ramondre Stevenson, but ultimately they move on. James Robinson, obviously was with Jags, then went to the Jets for a bit there and just never looked like the same player after the injury that he had there towards the end of last season. So now that leaves some questions. What do the Patriots do for finding a backup running back? We know that Belichick and Bill O'Brien and company want to make Stevenson the bell cow and really want to run the running game through him. But obviously you have to have a second option to keep Stevenson fresh, and also if there were an injury to happen. So some of the other names that are sitting out there on the free agent market when it comes to running backs right now include Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, J.D. McKissick, Kareem Hunt, and Leonard Fournette. Dalvin Cook, I think, is expecting to still be a running back number 1 somewhere. That wouldn't happen in New England, so I don't think they're going to sign Dalvin Cook. Ezekiel Elliott, you'd be looking at as a short yardage guy. Kareem Hunt, I think you have some character concerns from his time back in Kansas City to even some things that happened in Cleveland. The thing about Leonard Fournette, shout out to our old friend Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette became a very good receiving back from working with Tom Brady, something that he wasn't previously, so he could bring that to the table. So we'll see. I would expect that one of these 5 guys probably is going to be wearing a Patriots uniform. We'll see who it is. Name a running back that New England should sign, whether it's one of those 5 or maybe it's somebody else. Tell me in the comment section who you think the Patriots should add to this roster to the running back position. Nonstop Patriots coverage continues all offseason long. We are your offseason headquarters as we're talking about the New England Patriots here on Patriots Today. Subscribe now for free, and we'll see you next time here on the channel. Thanks for joining us.